In Austin, I'm Darenisha Heron. The campaign trail is staying red hot in Central Texas leading up to Election Day. Right now, candidates are traveling from city to city, making their final pitch to voters. The first hurdle to clear is winning the March 3rd primary to become their party's nominee. In the meantime, voters are getting bombarded with a flood of ads, and it can be hard to tell who is paying for them.
This is truly a campaign of, by, and for the people.
Democratic U.S. Senate candidate State Representative James Tallarico has been plenty critical of corporate PAC money, dark money, and billionaires' influence in politics.
A handful of billionaires have redesigned our politics for their own profit.
But like many campaigns, Tallarico has super PACs supporting him. They are politically active nonprofit groups that don't have to disclose major donors like other political groups do.
One person's dark money is another person's free speech, and this is legally spent money.
Lone Star Rising, a PAC supporting Tallarico, raised $6.1 million between January 1st and February 11th. More than half of that came from a political action committee who got its money from a dark money group. Under federal law, campaigns and super PACs cannot coordinate.
It does create this real moral gray area about where money's coming from, how it's being spent.
On Monday, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett's campaign team targeted Tallarico, saying a donor to his super PAC supporting him was connected to the late sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. When asked about it, Tallarico said he's focused on running a positive campaign and doesn't want to tear down Democrats.
I don't know anything about outside groups that and what they do. I'm focused on the campaign that I'm running.
The PAC supporting Crockett, Texas Forward, did not spend until after the deadline that would force it to disclose donors before March 3rd. So for now, that's effectively anonymous. The three Republican candidates use them as well. Lately, pro-Cornyn PACs have been going after Wesley Hunt.
They want to try to delegitimize that campaign and get the Hunt voters to come over and support Cornyn instead of Paxton.
Big-time investments in dark money in the final sprint to March 3rd.
Crockett called on Tallarico to denounce the super PAC who got the big donation from someone with ties to Jeffrey Epstein. When given the chance to, he chose not to. Instead, he said the focus should be on getting to the bottom of the Epstein case. With a lot of big races on the ticket this primary, hundreds of thousands of voters have already cast their ballots. As of Sunday, more than 66,000 Travis County voters cast their ballots early. That's a little more than 7% of registered voters. Turnout is higher in Williamson County at 8%, with 36,000 people voting in Williamson County. Americans in Mexico are being told to shelter in place after Mexico's military captured and killed a prominent drug cartel leader. At least 73 people have died in the violence that followed. The U.S. government says some airlines are operating from Guadalajara and Puerto Vallarta again. They're urging travelers to check their flight status before heading to the airport. Meanwhile, Southwest Airlines officials tell us they won't start flying in and out of Puerto Vallarta's airport again until it's safe to do so. The airline offers a nonstop flight from Puerto Vallarta to Austin. We spoke with an Austin woman who was staying about 20 minutes from Puerto Vallarta with her family. They were supposed to come back home today through a connection flight to Dallas. Now she says the soonest they can leave is Sunday.
It was amazing. We've been having the best time. We're in the most beautiful place.
Barbara Fennell of Austin has spent the last week in Mexico celebrating a milestone.
It's been very special for all of us.
Her 40th birthday in Sayulita with a group of 14 friends and family.
Everyone was smart and flew back already. And where else? My husband and I are still here with my in-laws and my son, who's 9 months old.
They were supposed to fly back on Monday, but Sunday morning, Fennell got this message from their Airbnb's owner telling them to stay inside their gated compound. It's about 20 miles from Puerto Vallarta.
In a little bit of disbelief because I always feel like this part of Mexico is very safe.
Fennell praised the on-site staff and property manager for the communication and for extending their stay at no cost. When we spoke Monday, Her goal, going into town to restock supplies, including medicine for her baby's heart condition.
So that's kind of like a scary thing. And also realizing that if something were to go wrong with him, we wouldn't be able to get to Puerto Vallarta, to the hospital.
On Monday, near Houston, Governor Greg Abbott repeated his call for Texans in Mexico and those with family or friends traveling there to closely follow warnings from the U.S. State Department and call that department if they need immediate help.
For another, working to maintain the safety and security of our fellow Texans who currently are in Mexico and make sure we get them home safely.
Back across the border,
And I know that we're going to be taken care of and we will be okay.
Fennell gave gratitude for locals' hospitality, while her family makes the best of this bonus time together.
But we are safe, so that's important.
While waiting for the best birthday gift, a safe trip home.
That was Adam Bennett reporting. The family is hoping flights back to Austin open before Sunday. Austin police continue to investigate a shooting in Del Valley. Officers say they found someone shot in their car on Winters Cove around 12:30 a.m. Our cameras captured officers working near Del Valley High School, about a mile and a half away. The victim sent to the hospital in critical condition. Investigators have not released any suspect information. Investigators now believe a fire that sparked at an abandoned apartment building in South Austin over the weekend was an act of arson. The fire started early Saturday morning off of South Lamar Boulevard near Old Turf Street. Officials tell us it caused an estimated $4 million in damage. Austin fire investigators are still looking into this. Tariffs could be about to increase to 15% on several countries, up from the 10% President Donald Trump initially announced last Friday. Business owners here in Austin continue to wonder what's next after months of figuring out how tariffs affect their bottom lines. KVUE's Daniel Gomez explains.
Natasha McCree spends her day at Wexel Art, making sure works of art have proper displays.
We started as an acrylic frame company, and it was born out of my frustration for not having a good way to display kids' art and family photos in a way that you could update and change.
For almost a year, McCree says changes to economic policy have frustrated her even more.
When the tariffs were announced, we were importing everything from China, and we really had to scramble.
In 2025, President Trump enacted tariffs on certain countries by enacting the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. McCree says she's kept customers and staff in mind while navigating the cost of business.
And it has been a roller coaster ride. It has been really hard to focus on building our business when we've had to be so reactive without any warning or notice that these were coming down the pipeline.
Hank Cravey, owner of World Interiors in Austin, says he had to do the same.
And we were holding out, hoping that we wouldn't have to raise the prices further. And sure enough, it looks like now the Supreme Court's come through for us, and we're going to see some relief.
On Friday, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled most of the president's tariffs illegal. And as the White House announces other global tariffs under a different part of the tax code, some American companies are trying to get reimbursed for what they've already paid.
Now, hopefully, if we can get some refund, that would be really helpful.
These are small, independently owned, Texas-based companies that employ Texans, and it would make a real difference to our bottom line and theirs to get that right.
Leaving Cravey and McCree wondering if they'll get a cut too. Daniel Gomez, KVUE News.
Thanks, Daniel. The Downtown Austin Alliance is rolling out a 10-week pilot program offering discounted parking while the convention center is under renovation. Starting this week, participating restaurants, bars, and shops will hand out vouchers for up to 2 hours of free parking or discounted rates for longer stays. The vouchers can be used Sunday through Thursday and until 4 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. Right now, the properties are home to East Pecan Cigars in Delton's barbershop. City leaders say they want a vibrant mix of shops, dining, and entertainment to draw visitors and support local jobs. Interested parties can find the full requirements for the proposal on the Pflugerville City website. Applications close on Wednesday, March 18th. Those are the headlines here in Austin. I'm Darrenisha Heron.